Hey guys, Zane from the Infinite Jukebox here with another quick album review, and today I wanted to talk about the new SZA record, SOS. SOS is the latest studio album from rapper and alternative R&B vocalist SZA, one of the most highly respected vocalists within the music industry at the moment. Now, for those who are not aware of the SZA lore, so to speak, it has been 5 years since her last studio album, the much beloved Control, one of the better neo-soul records to come out within the past few years. That is truly an excellent album, and if you haven't heard it, I highly recommend going to listen to it. But that being said, an album as great as Control was, obviously there's going to be a lot of expectation with the follow-up, blah blah blah, and I have to say that SOS, despite the fact that it had a lot of expectation behind it, manages to succeed pretty well, even if it is kind of disappointing compared to its predecessor technically. SOS's runtime is about 70 minutes long, which obviously is pretty long, and it does admittedly leave things feeling a little bit bloated, especially considering thematically there is some repetition from track to track throughout this record, and if you cut off the last, say, 15 to 25 minutes, I don't think that there would be all that much missed here outside of a couple highlights, and honestly, I just don't think that this record needed to be more than 45-50 overall. That being said, SZA's vocal work is absolutely fantastic here, as she perfectly conveys all of this nostalgic romance and heartbreak that the songwriting is deeply embedded with, and at the same time, I really do feel that despite SOS not being the greatest thing I've heard all year or anything like that, this is really SZA putting her best work forward from a vocal standpoint. I mean, sure, the album itself isn't as good as Control, or anything else that she's done for that matter in terms of EPs or even individual singles, but at the same time, I really do feel like this is some of the best work she's done from a vocal standpoint alone. The production here can kind of feel a bit samey and repetitious from time to time, which leaves things feeling a bit flat, especially with, once again, the extensively overly long runtime, but at the same time there are enough features here to break things up from SZA's performances, but not too many that it kind of leaves her out of the question and doesn't really highlight her own abilities. There's just a handful of features here, all of them are solid, all of them are worth your time checking out, and all of them have their right to be on the record, and I think overall it's the best way to go about things with what's an obviously pretty deeply personal album like SOS, and it's successful in that regard. So overall, am I saying that SOS is the best thing that SZA has ever put forward? No. And am I saying it's as good as Control? Not at all. But at the same time, SOS is a good record, and if you were genuinely looking for a good follow-up to Control, but something stylistically slightly different, I'd say go for it. This is a good record. I'm going to give this record 3.5 stars out of 5. That being said, that's the end of this quick review. I've been Zane from the Infinite Jukebox. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.